This that X talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot. X talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot. Hello, and welcome to X Talk, a show where we sit down with your favorite artists, entertainers, and content creators to talk explicitly about all things extravagant. My name is Markus X, and today I am joined by Rico. How's it going?
Hello. Yes, it's Rico or Rixo.
Rico.
Yeah. Rico is what I go by online, but my performance name is Rixo.
Okay.
Even though it's still also Rico as well. It's just the X for the C.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for everybody who's listening, do you want to tell us, just jumping right into it, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do creatively or as a creator?
Yes. So I think to really say what is really a big passion of mine right now is performance, male performance. Yeah, I have a network of male entertainers around me that have been in the business for so long, doing their own thing collectively around Chicago. But it was 2 years ago now, I think. We started a house. My ex started it, and just invited all of our close friends into the network of a house, and we all do different things. Like, some of us are rappers, some of us are singers, some of us are just male entertainers, go-go's, some do drag. It's just a really cool, close-knit family that is really built up to a very strong bond. It's like a brotherhood, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, male entertainers could be a lot of different things, and so
Yeah.
collectively, does your house have a name?
Yes, so it's House of Cage. We are the first house in Chicago that's all black male entertainers. It's kind of it's the premise of a drag house, but for male entertainers, because black male entertainers in Boys Town of Chicago are very underrepresented. And even male entertainers as is are underrepresented in Boys Town. So with House of Cage, it's kind of just building a network of, these are all black male entertainers in Boys Town. They're all doing something, and we all bring something different to the table. And this is where you can find those people. This is where you can have those resources to be book these black boys, because everyone's so talented. Yeah.
Okay. Well, already you've given me a lot to go with there. So let's start with Chicago. So you're currently living in Chicago. Is that where you grew up as well?
I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But I left very quickly. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, Beverly area, which is kind of a little mini suburb. And then in high school, I moved to even farther in the suburbs. So I'm not really Chicago in nature. I'm more of a suburban kind of slow life person. But moving into the city has really sped up my life and really, I think, helped me come into my own and be more comfortable being queer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's giving me so much confidence that I never thought I could have. Because I used to feel so regular living in the suburbs and tied down and restricted from really truly being myself.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's something that we definitely can dive into a little bit deeper here in a minute. I also grew up in, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I grew up in Michigan in a small, do you know where Jackson's at?
No.
Okay.
I'm not very familiar with Michigan.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half away from Grand Rapids. So I grew up there, and I lived there until I was 21, and then I moved to Southern California at that point, and have lived all over since then. But I know what it's like to grow up. You said what?
How long have you been in California?
So I lived in San Diego for about 8 years, and then I took a year out in Hawaii, and now I've been in San Francisco for almost, I guess, 3 years now. So yeah, so it's been a good decade here in California.
I went to LA last year, and I will say that is somewhere at some point I would love to live. I fell in love with LA. It's such a beautiful and rich with culture city. I love it.
Yeah. I feel like the thing about LA though also is that, or anywhere that you travel, really, I feel like it's easy to romanticize living there, and then the more time that you're in different places, it's not to say that LA is not a great place to live, but
Yeah, I feel like I do that oftentimes. Like when I'm traveling around too, I'll be like, "Ooh, I want to live here at some point." You know what
You
I mean?
know, you're right though. Actually, now that I'm thinking about that, because even with me like moving to the north side of Chicago, which is more of like the neighborhood,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I used to romanticize it. Now I'm just like, oh, well, this is just it. Like I'm here.
yeah,
There's nothing
yeah,
weird. I don't
yeah.
want to ruin that big one.
I spent a lot of time like in and out of LA, and like even still to this day, like I'm in and out of LA, but like I've never wanted to live in LA for a reason, you know? But that's just me. Getting back to you though,
I'm sorry.
so okay, so you grew up in Illinois then, basically.
Yes.
Like you spent
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
But just out in the suburbs, you said.
Yes. Very white suburbs. Very white, almost Republican, half Democrat suburbs of Oak Forest and Orland Park.
Okay, okay. And now how long have you been in Boys Town?
It's been 3 to 4 years. I think this is the fourth year, which is crazy. That time be flying. Hold on, let me
Right.
see. No, that's not true. That it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were still on the suburbs before moving into like the city itself, or like you've lived in the city then for a little bit?
I started what it's really the timeline of me dating my ex, because as soon as I got with my ex is when I moved out. So I
Hmm.
literally moved out, got with my ex, and from there that's just the start of my real gay journey in
Yeah.
Chicago. Even though I've like had gay experiences growing up, like truly was it 2022? That was like the beginning of my journey as a queer person and being
Okay.
unapologetic about it.
Okay. So 2022. So this is like kind of fresh that you're like deep in
Right.
it now. Like
Yeah.
now you're like living your truth and like you
I
have your
mean, right.
house, all of your
Yeah.
brothers. Like this is like when you're like in a
Popping
new
my
era
shit.
in your life almost.
Popping my pussy.
Huh.
Doing all the things.
Huh, I know that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just to paint the picture for people who are listening then. So you
Mhm.
grew up in the small city in Michigan, you went to the suburbs very quickly, shortly thereafter, being raised in or living in Grand Rapids for a little bit, lived in the
Yes.
suburbs of Illinois, and now for the past few years, you've been in the city in Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. Where did your creative journey begin?
So my ex, his name is Matt Cage.
Mm,
Not to talk too much about him, but he started out as a wrestler and became transitioned into male performance. And I was just like, it was kind of like hand in hand because it's kind of the same thing. Like
right.
you're really telling a story and all that shit. So when I first met him, we started out as friends, and it like slowly got, you know, we didn't realize that we were building like a connection that was like romantic at first. It was just more so we really felt safe with each other, and we really like saw each other because we bonded over sexual trauma and shit.
Mm,
So yeah, he was a non-entertainer. I used to watch him. I was so confused by it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are men wearing skirts and harnesses and shit? Like, what am I seeing? But then I quickly found out that I had a passion for it, and I really wanted to push myself to do it too, because I'm just naturally shy. For a long time, I used to just not really communicate with others at all. So I'm very new to even that, like having conversations and getting to know people deeper.
okay. And
Yeah.
here you are on on a whole ass podcast.
Right? Look at
Yeah.
me, crazy. Tell
uh,
me a year ago, never would do this, but yeah.
okay. So diving deeper then into male performance. So for you specifically, I know that you said that your house, like there are a bunch of different people doing a bunch of different things, but for you specifically,
Yes.
when you say that you're a male performer, so is this like dancing? Is it like burlesque? Like what kind of performance would this be? Just so people
I mean,
who don't know who you are can get an idea.
it's a mixture of a lot of shit. It really is a mixture. I'm kind of like allowing myself the freedom to actually do anything.
Hmm.
So, my performance journey started on Cage Fight. So another thing produced by my ex in Chicago, which is at Charlie's Chicago. And I was not ready to do that, but it was a competition. I placed third, and there was a lot of drama and shit. It was a lot of stuff I had never gone through that like really came to a height through me doing that competition and kind of like pushed me into adulthood.
Hmm.
So with that, it's like think Drag Race but boys.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I was on the third season of that, and it really pushed me to like do all types of things. So each week was a theme. I had to do something different and try to fit that. But now, outside of the competition, I've like graduated to actually just performing at bars and shit. So I've
Hmm.
done hydrate and shit. Just burlesque is kind of like I guess what it gives. Burlesque but boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
interesting. And so I want to go back a little bit as well outside of what you do creatively because it feels important, both being men of color, to talk a little bit more about your journey with, I guess, your queerness then.
Hmm.
So you mentioned that it's only been a few years now that you've really been like living your best queer life.
Yeah.
Um, Growing up, did you have an idea that maybe something was a little different? Um, how did it come to be, I suppose?
Okay, so I think the way I remember it, I know in third grade I used to romanticize grown black men, like
Mm,
because I know that I didn't enjoy not having a dad or a father figure, a
hmm.
true father figure around when I was growing up. So I would see grown black men and be like, oh, they're so attractive and fine, but like also under the guise of my father or something. I don't know. Like I don't know why I used to romanticize it, but that's when I was like, I think I have an attraction for men. I'm just not really realizing what I was just confused about what I was feeling.
Yeah,
But when I really knew was sixth grade. Sixth grade is when I had my bisexual awakening
yeah,
because I was liking girls and I was really getting my muscles and shit. But also I was liking boys, and I was like, oh, I feel so attractive and whatever. Not to be, I was vain back then because I mean, kids, you grow up and shit.
yeah.
But I was like, oh, I feel so sexy. How could I just be with a girl? I have to be with both genders because they're both sexy to me. And
Hmm.
from there, that's when I like knew there was something going on.
Are you
Yeah.
still, I mean, how do you identify now? Are you still living like your
I'm
best?
gay. I'm
Okay.
gay. I'm
Okay.
gay as well. But I will say it like ever since I've started like exploring rape culture and shit, me going out, it's really giving like poly, like more so like I like to talk to people, build a
Yeah.
connection with them, and then if I end up kissing them, that's just what it is. Like I
Okay,
don't
but
care.
kissing and fucking are two different things.
It is. And I will say I'm at the very beginning of like explore. I don't know. It's a lot to really go into, but I feel like at some point I've like restricted my straight side because I felt like women wouldn't be interested into me.
Uh-huh.
But now that I'm going out and putting myself out there in spaces where straight women are present, now I'm just like, oh, I like to go up to girls and compliment them, and maybe something might happen.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to like have more ideas of like, okay, maybe I want to try and dive deeper into this because I think I've restricted a part of me because I felt like I was supposed to be a gay man at this point. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think also a lot of times it's easy for us to find a box and then to just put ourselves in that because that's what society wants to do to us, right? So, speaking a little bit on my own journey with sexuality, because currently, like, I identify as pansexual just because I'm like, if I have a connection with somebody, like, regardless of what they have going on in between their legs, like, I can figure it out. Like, we can figure it out. You know what I mean? But like, I'm more interested in like, what is the vibe
Yeah.
that we're feeling here, right?
Mhm.
But for a long time, I also felt like I needed to put myself in a box because I was like, oh, I'm claiming gay. Like this is the thing that I'm claiming myself like to be, right? And this is how I'm showing up to the world. Like I'm a gay man. Like this is the identity that I've latched onto. And the older that I've gotten, I've realized that I can just kind of free flow and just let myself be as I am, and connect with whoever I feel like I need to connect with. And I don't need to be put in the same and put in the boxes that society wants to put me into. Like I can just do my own thing, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. I'm giving myself that grace and that freedom to do all that right now. Because it's just there's been so many restrictions placed onto me as I've grown up, being where I was and stuff, like never truly being free to like express myself fully.
Yeah.
Even when I was like just being called gay for doing it. Like I used to be a part of a dance team when I was younger, but I stopped swiftly after that because one random straight boy on my block when I was like what 13 or something call me gay for trying to do all these things that I wanted to do. So I just said, oh, immediately let me shut that off.
Yeah.
In high school, going into college, I went to apply for colleges, and I let my best friend that was a gay DL friend at the time. He said, "Oh, you would never be considered," and I said, "Oh, okay, never. I will never do that then." And I just listened, and just like seeing all those times I've restricted myself, I don't want to do that in any type of way now,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
was literally my whole life, just letting people restrict me and me listening because I thought, oh, they're my friend, they have my best interest at heart, not really
Yeah.
having that person fighting for myself.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting just how society wants us to fit ourselves into these boxes, right?
Yeah.
I want to get into queerness in the Black community, specifically with Black men. But first, let's go ahead and jump into our first break. For
Okay.
this break, I am going to play the 3336 remix by Marcus X on my new album, for my new album, Heaven's Gate, the Deluxe Edition. So we will be right back with you.
Period.
I'm busting if I'm calling, they rushing. They be huffing and puffing. God, I'm hot by the rustin'. Cause bitch, I'm busting. God, I'm dying to touch it. Drop a grip, run it up, make it rip. Catch me out, venomous. You're submit. Double C's on my wrist. Too by but the trip. Have it set. So pretty, take a pic. Gagging got these bitches sick. Bitch, I'm it. Eyes on top of wrist. 33 triple
All right, that was the 3336 remix by Marcus X. Me, it is I am the one.
The one.
And we are here with Rico, aka, you said Rixo?
Either. Yeah, Rico. Yeah.
All
It don't
right,
matter.
depending on the vibe.
Yes, whatever is given that night.
I
Honestly.
feel it. So we've been talking to, if you're just scrolling forward in the episode and you haven't been here with us the whole time, we've been talking a little bit about identity. And I want to talk about Black men and queerness. So it's quite a complex topic, but I haven't gotten into it yet on the show. And I feel inspired to discuss it. Because oftentimes, and I can only speak on my own experience and some experiences of my friends who I know, Black men are oftentimes like some of the most homophobic people
Yes.
on the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes it difficult being, yeah, it makes it difficult being a queer Black man and wanting to find community maybe with straight Black men who may not be as accepting as other people. Have you experienced anything like that yourself in your own journey?
I mean, that's the whole reason why I was so restricted in my gayness anyways, because I started like my high school journey was actually two ends of a very crazy spectrum. I went to a very city high school that was very Black but had small amounts of white people, and then I went
Mm,
to a super white high school. So it was like the contrast of both. And at the beginning, it was just like super homophobic straight men that were interested in me, super DL football players, but super homophobic when it came to every day you go into high school and they say something's gay. Um, but then in my other high school where there were more gay people, but it was so white, I was still segregated because I couldn't feel comfortable to be myself because I was like one of what 5 Black people in the damn high school. So it was just a lot of environments that I was put in that made me so restrictive. But
mm,
I will say later in life, I do feel like some of the stuff was my own shit because some straight men, especially now, are so welcoming of gayness and they actually
yeah.
don't shy away from like gay topics and they understand. I don't know. That's just been my recent like I think if you're confident in your queerness, it makes straight men a little bit more accepting of your queerness because
Yeah.
they see you for
Yeah.
where you are. I don't know.
No, I definitely feel that. I do think there is kind of an overarching, I mean, there's just so much stigma surrounding queerness in general, and specifically with gay men or men who people perceive to be as gay worldwide. But just being a person of color myself and being Black and being a part of like the Black community, I did want to bring it up though, just because I have noticed that like a lot of like Black men specifically, I found, at least in my experience, have been less accepting of my queerness. And it's interesting because like we need to, especially in like the times that we're in right now, it's like we really need to find community and be able to stick together. But then also there are people within the community that are still being ostracized, right?
I
Um,
actually segue into something very quickly because I
yeah,
actually, at the top of the episode, I actually really wanted to give you your flowers and talk about more about what I texted you.
yeah,
You are absolutely one of the people that I saw very early on in like, I think Instagram. Like, I don't know how many years ago I followed you, but seeing you just be so ridiculously cut, but also like Black, gay, and just owning your queerness, it was so jarring for me because I'm just like, what is this? Like, it was so interesting to me. I had never had the willpower to really go out and do things for myself and like see gay culture, but seeing you and your presence online really just was like, oh my God, I really cannot wait until I feel comfortable enough to like really express myself in this way because this shit is cool as fuck. And
well,
even just your aesthetic, it's just so cool.
well,
Yeah.
thank you first and foremost. I really, really appreciate it. And I can put the mirror back up as well to you and say that, you know, we never know the people that we're affecting just as we walk through our lives and live as our authentic selves, right? To the best of our ability, because obviously, like, this world isn't built for Black people to succeed in. This world isn't built for queer people to succeed in. But if we can find the courage within ourselves to be able to live our truth, whatever that may look like, you just really never know like who needs to see that, and like, you know, what you are providing to the world, and just to, you know, maybe some kid who grew up in a small suburban town, you know, similar to us, who need that kind of representation. So I really, really appreciate you giving me a shout out and giving me my
No.
flowers. I appreciate
All
it because like,
representation is representation. And I
totally, it's like
really,
shit that I don't think about either though. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's like I'm just
Yeah,
fucking doing shit just
you're doing the
because.
shit for yourself. You're doing the shit for
Yeah,
yourself, but that's really what it is. You hyping yourself up and like feeling your cut is
yeah,
giving other people the inspiration to also do the same shit. Because it definitely is an inspiration to me. Because I've never seen a
totally.
Black man represented the way you were at that point. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. So going back to community though, I want to dive deeper into your house. And I know that you said that you kind of got introduced into the house through your ex. Is correct? That's correct.
I was brought in initially as it was formed. So
Okay.
like I met the people through him, and now they're like my closest friends, literally family. But it was all like we were all put together all at once. It was just like everyone that back to his competition, everyone that competed in his competition, that's a part of the house did so well. So like
Mm,
every single person is just together, and now everyone has their own thing they're doing in Boys Town. That's just like dope to like see now because everyone's getting booked, everyone's doing their own thing, and we show up for each other and we support. So yeah,
okay. Love that. And so now that it's been a few years, now we're in 2025, which is insane, right? But it's been like 3 years now that you've been a part of this house.
Mhm.
What would you say, I don't know, like since you became a part of the house, like what would you say, how has it helped you in your life, I guess is what I'm getting at.
It definitely has changed me. I've become the most confident nigga on earth.
Hey.
Uh, I've never walked in confidence the way I have now.
Okay.
And just owning the fact that I'm a beautiful Black man and
Yes.
being unapologetic about it. Like even my hair, I've never grown my hair out as long as it is now, but embracing my natural curls, it's been like
Yeah.
very huge for me because I used to be so on top of like getting a haircut every week, doing the most and shit, just keeping up appearances. But even that, just learning how to groom myself better,
Mm,
just growing up, being a nigga at in all ways.
yeah. Okay. Are you still liking being in Chicago?
Yes, but I definitely would like to have a new change of environment soon.
Hmm.
I don't know what that's looking like, but even this year I'm like I'm gonna be traveling a lot more. So I'm excited to see new places, see where I possibly will want to uproot. But right now, Chicago, I will say in the short term, maybe the long term, Chicago really is like engraved into my life. So it
Okay.
wouldn't make sense for me to leave right now. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, there's a whole big world out there, but you know, it is really special that you have community there right now as
Yeah.
well. Um, you know, not to say that you can't build community elsewhere as well, but it is something that's really special to have like people around you who like support you creatively and like just as a person, you know, with your own personal growth as well.
Yeah.
So it's something really special that you have.
I want to get to a point where I feel so comfortable in the space that I am now. Because even that's my favorite part of traveling is knowing that I'm going somewhere else and I can be whoever I want to be.
Mm.
And like no one really knows all the nuances that come with me. So that they might get a whole different person when they meet me.
Hey,
But yeah, I want to get to a point where I feel so comfortable where I'm at here that now I want to make myself uncomfortable again and start building myself in a new community. So
yeah,
like that
no,
is
it's
the desire.
important. It is important. I feel like it helps you to continue to evolve and like to
Yeah.
continue to challenge yourself as well. But just like
Hmm.
on a soul level, like I feel like sometimes you need that like uprooting to like completely like shock the system and then, you know, build off of what, you know, the growth that you've reached to whatever point that you moved. So
Yeah.
I feel that.
I'm not boxing myself up in any way. Like I
Huh.
want to be uncomfortable in life.
Huh. The world is your oyster.
Literally. My
Huh.
pussy.
So, okay, so I am curious, are you comfortable to talk about like spicy content creation?
Of course.
Okay. Is it something that you promote? Like is it something, you know, just being on your page like I see a little bit about what you do,
Hmm.
but but
What?
also it's like I don't know like are you like promoting it or is it, you know?
Okay. Well, I will say this. Since I'm so shy, and I will say also I come with a lot of sexual trauma. So even like within the last year, your boy has really been trying to build himself up after I had like in 2022, I had a lot of traumatic shit happen to me.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but sexual trauma was one of the biggest things that had like really regressed me to feel comfortable filming with someone else.
Sure.
But I built my confidence up so much when it comes to sex and like learning what I like and what I don't like, letting myself be free and not really restrict myself. I'm at a point now where I do want to take it seriously. So I do want to like start promoting myself in a different way,
Mm.
elevating because on Twitter, I just post my little shit and then I go. And it's just more so for me because it's like a fetish for me to, I guess it's kind of exhibitionist to
Yeah.
do. I just
Yeah.
enjoy showing myself off because I know that a lot of the things that I have are very beautiful to look at, and I just feel sexy when I do it. It's like me taking my power back
Yes.
sexually.
No,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe here coming up now that you're like really in this
Oh,
like
this year, yeah.
in this like
Talk about
confidence,
me fucking.
okay, so like yeah, like where do you want to go with it? Are you like do you have like an OnlyFans currently or are you
I
just
have an
like more
OnlyFans that I do out of a hobby. It's more of a hobby.
yeah,
But I'm starting to take things more serious. So I'm trying to find collabs that make sense. I don't want to just be collabing with anyone.
right.
And I'm trying to find reliable people because one of the things with content creation that people need to talk more about is that a lot of these content creators are kind of shitty and like very toxic.
In what
And
way?
I've had a situation, I'm going to talk very loosely about it because I don't want to say any names, but I've worked with,
Keyword loose.
yeah, well, I mean, always a bad thing. Look is not always bad.
uh
But okay. Yes. I had a situation recently where it was just a kind of a horror story. And I had to be very mature and be like, okay, now I have to calm this person down that's acting reactional to whatever is bothering them right now. And now I'm in danger. I don't let myself be in a situation. I'm just like, well, now I gotta mediate and do what I wasn't planning on doing. But
Okay, wait, hold on,
I'm fucking
pause.
around it.
So, wait, pause. So, you were filming, and you don't have to give like too much details, but just to like provide more framework for people who are listening. So, you
Yeah.
were filming with somebody or with a group of like multiple people?
I was filming with one person, but it's not even really that. It's just the fact of like I was on a trip and I was allowing myself to like really hang out with them and get to know them. And
Yeah.
I put myself in a position where, let me just tell a loose story of it. I basically broke my phone and I agreed to hang out with this guy. But as
Uh-huh.
I went out with him and we were away from where I was staying, I broke my phone, so I was trapped where I was. So I had to just embrace the night. I was like, well, my phone's broken and I have a flight in the morning. So I just have to like be a part of the night until he could take me home. But then
Okay.
at one point at the party that we have went to and I agreed to go to with him, he got jealous because someone else was like trying to hit on me or something. And I was like, oh, why is this energy changing? What happened? And me having to mediate and calm him down. And I'm just like, I just need a ride home. I can't even call an Uber if I wanted to because
Right.
I don't have anything. Like I can't use my phone. But yeah, it was just really wild. I was like, damn, this energy completely changed. We were fine and dandy beginning of the night, but as the night went on, he got more irrational with how he was reacting, and he
Uh-huh.
barely even knew me, like just being very possessive over me for no reason.
So
So
it's
yeah,
it's somebody who you met up with,
for a
like,
club, yeah,
okay, just at a club. So this wasn't even like surrounding anything
it
like,
wasn't at a club, no. It
okay.
was like we planned to hang out beforehand, and we ended up hanging out, and we filmed, went to the party, and then filmed again that night.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
this person, I guess like the missing piece of the puzzle for me and how we
yeah, I'm
got to
sorry.
this point is that this person is a content creator themselves
Yes,
as well as you, but you guys weren't meeting up specifically to like film content. You were meeting up just to hang out and
yeah,
like catch the vibe.
yeah,
And then they switched up because they started getting jealous because somebody was giving you compliments while you were out
yes,
with them.
yes, yeah,
I see. That's
yeah.
interesting. So you're saying, so taking it all the way back then, you're saying that like you want to be more particular about even who you're meeting up with in the first place when it comes to expanding your online content creation, just because there are people out here who are in that kind of world who maybe don't have your best interest in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to be comfortable with whoever I'm doing this stuff with because it's just a lot of horror stories surrounding like content creation, and I never
Right.
want to put myself in a situation that I could avoid because unlike some people, I don't surround myself in toxicity. So I
Yeah.
like to have a very easy, flowy life. If there's something that's bothering us, we can talk about it and then move on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting though because a lot of people, and we're gonna come back around to content creation, but a lot of people aren't able to. A lot of people lack emotional intelligence, and they
yeah,
also lack the ability to be able to effectively communicate. And so it's really, really interesting because like you come across people who can't communicate whatever it is that they're feeling on the inside, and then they're like lashing out or like do like taking it out in different ways, and it's like just
yeah.
talk about whatever it is that you're feeling, you know.
I will say with that though, like that's why I recommend therapy, especially for
Right.
black men. Like we need that shit. We need therapy immediately. A lot of people
100%.
think that they don't need it because they like, oh, I know what's right for me and I know how to do right from wrong. But even with that, you don't really know yourself until you really start speaking all the unintelligible but also very un unfiltered shit out of your brain to someone else. Like you don't
Yeah.
ever get to um you don't get to do that with anyone. Like everyone always has a guard up when they are even with friends. Some people have been friends for years with other people and they've never really opened up uh authentically to them and never really said all the shit that's in their brain out loud.
Right. Right. No,
So
it's
you
really
don't know how to
interesting.
process that bit.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it's not just black people that need therapy. People just
Well,
need
yeah,
therapy in general. I feel like
everyone.
white people should have therapy. I feel like every white person should have a therapist who's a person of color that guides them
Yeah,
to be like, you have privilege. Like I feel
yeah.
like I feel like they need like somebody that like actually like has a different lived experience who will like help them to recognize that, because a lot of white people also like just don't see that they just have like this privilege and then they would just
They're
walk around with it.
unaware. They're
Yeah,
unaware. And that's nothing wrong with that because that's literally how this country is made. Like you're made
right,
to be unaware so you can deny all the things that are actually happening to other people.
right,
You know, I
right.
wish, and I do wish that for them, but also I don't think that it's their fault, and I don't think they need a person of color. I really wish that a lot of white people would just open up their mind to the fact that there are other perspectives that matter in the
Yeah,
world. And you might be shitty as hell and you don't even know it. Like you are over here thinking this is a rational way to react and act towards other different races, but you just don't know. You don't have the perspective. You've always lived in that privilege, so all you are doing is just existing in ignorance.
Yeah.
And
No,
you don't know it.
no, it's wild
And
though.
it's not just white people though. It's like every race. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I wish they would go to therapy for that, so they can see like, hey, even though some people just choose ignorance, they want the ignorance.
Yeah.
They want.
The moral of the story is just therapy at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to
That's
somebody.
yeah. Now coming back around then to content creation. So okay, so to paint the picture for people who are listening and they want to get to know about you as a creator in general. So you do stage performance, but then also you do content creation when it comes to like Twitter, like OnlyFans, like sexual, like content creation as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really want to lean more into like erotic shit too. Like I want to get
Mhm.
into like some erotic photo shoots, really collabing with other people in an artistic way because expressing myself um sexually is one of my biggest forms of building confidence at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah,
What is your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, okay. Hi, Gemini.
Uh, why you
Are
say it like
you
that?
are you an astrology boy?
I've gotten into it. I still
Uh-huh.
don't like fully believe in it, but
Yeah. You're like, whatever, fuck all that.
I am a Gemini. I'm very much Gemini coded. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so moving forward, so looking into the future, so maybe you're gonna move at some point,
Mhm.
potentially. You're gonna continue to perform with your house, and you're thinking to expand your brand when it comes to um online content creation, like as far as like Twitter, like OnlyFans, like erotic art, all of these different things. Like you're looking to expand on that.
Hmm. And just
Okay.
build. Because before all this shit was just a hobby. Now that I see like it's like getting attention and that what I do like not even do but even say like really impacts people in ways that I'm very unannounced to. Like even last year I did the balloon pop show. People still talk about that and I don't think about that no more. Like
You
I
said the
don't think
balloon pop show?
yeah, there was like a Chicago balloon pop show that I did with like some of my house members were on it and my ex was on there, but just getting the reaction that I got even from doing that was
What is balloon pop? What is
oh you've never
what
seen it
is
before?
no, what is this?
That's crazy. You've never no you have. You haven't seen the dating show where like people have a balloon and they pop it if
Oh
they yeah.
yeah. Okay, wait. So
Yeah.
you went on one of those.
Yes, I did an episode of that.
What was the
Yeah.
episode surrounding? It was
It's
dating?
it's not really dating. I mean, have you never watched like the Balloon Pop show?
Yeah, but I feel like it's like the end of it is like I'm gonna go on a date with this person.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about that. I think that is the intention, but I don't
It's
think
just
that
for
that
like views.
happening. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah,
did you were the person popping the balloon?
I was. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So wait, so the person who you ended up the person who made it to the end of it, so you never went on a date with them, or can you not talk about that?
Oh well, I can talk about it, but also I didn't. I pop on balloon for everybody. Uh,
Oh,
it
you
was
said none of these bitches.
yeah, no. I mean,
Oh,
it's very unserious. Like if someone was being serious, I would have taken it more serious, but it was just a lot of shit. Like it was a lot of buffoonery, especially when the
uh,
cameras were off that people weren't seeing. And I was just like we'll take breaks every few minutes. And I was just like, oh, you acted different off camera. Like I don't
yeah,
even take you
hate
serious.
that, hate that. We hate a fake
Yeah.
bitch, or like
Just
somebody who just
yeah,
puts on
yeah,
for the camera. You know?
literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I did not see that. That's something that I missed out on. I'm gonna go find it though.
It was a cute episode. It has a
Okay.
lot of you even and what's even more jarring about it is it's a black focused show and even white people be coming up to me like, oh, I saw you on a balloon pop show and that just is so gaggy to me. I'm like, damn, all of Chicago. No
That's
squat.
wild. Damn, they said anybody that's looking to date you, they said he is not trying to date anybody out here.
Oh, that's not true.
You said you popped all the balloons,
Well, I mean, it should have been better suitors
huh?
involved.
So okay, well let's talk about dating, just because now we're over here in this part of the conversation. Like,
Yeah.
are you currently single?
I am single. Obviously my ex is in my life. He's one of my best friends. Um, and that will never change. Like that's a person that will always be in my life. He's my safe space. I am entertaining the thought of dating because I've changed my mind about relationships. I don't think monogamy is something that's for me, even
Sure.
though it's my nature to want to defend that. It just don't make sense. Like I think that through meeting new people and building these connections, I kind of get to a point where I can be like, oh, I'm growing from this. This conversation helped me change a little bit about me. So I don't think at any point I will ever be monogamous again, but
Mm.
I'm open to like entertaining new relationships and trying to get closer to people and not just make it about a transactional hookup. Like I would
Yeah.
love to get deeper because the sex do get better when you are more entwined in each other's lives. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could be polyamorous and just have like multiple relationships, like people
absolutely,
that you're like
yeah.
committed to, but like you just have different sets of, I guess, understandings with like whatever
Mhm.
different
And being
partnership.
transparent, I only want honesty. If I can't
Yeah.
trust you, I don't want to be anywhere near you. It's not that deep.
I feel
Yeah.
that. Okay, so if somebody who's listening to this or watching the show, if they were trying to come to you, they wanted to step to you and they were like trying to go for a date. Like, do you have like a type? Do you have like what's like what how could somebody like get you to go on a date with them? Is it like physical attraction, mental? Like what is your vibe?
Just come correct. Don't be ridiculous. I think what a lot of people don't get is that actually, obviously, because I'm more naked than clothed online, people come more sexually towards me. If you be different, so if you immediately have the intention of being like, oh, he's so sexy, he's naked online, maybe
Right.
you don't lead with that because then I'll take you more serious than other people if you come to me correct. Otherwise, I'm just be like, you're lost in the sea of people that want to fuck me, and that's all they care about.
Totally.
You're
Well, people see like skin online and they just think that you're just like ready and willing to fuck anything
literally.
that's like that approaches you.
And then
And
in
it's like,
reality, I'm not having sex like that. Like,
right.
it's not that deep. Like,
No,
yes, I
no.
present this way online, but that's not what I'm about. Obviously, I have feelings. I'm a person that operates outside of having a dick. You
Right.
know?
Well, people also fail to realize that that's something that you've curated as well.
Oh yeah,
Do you know
and
what I
it's
mean?
just me expressing myself.
People
That's all it
see,
is about.
yeah, but people see sex and they're like, oh, this person's like just like maybe easy. Like people do the same thing to me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like people will like slide into my DMs and I'm like, okay, like you're a fucking 50, 60-year-old white man, like
right.
buddy, like
Make it
it's
make sense.
not, yeah, like it's not, this is your fantasy that you have is not unless there's some money
It's
involved.
not
The
mutual.
fantasy is not, it's not ever going to be a reality, buddy.
Yeah, spoil me. Maybe I'll open my mind to the idea of what we're trying to do here, but no.
You're
And
out of
also, let
here.
me be clear that is not something I entertain either. I'm not out here. I had a sugar daddy at one point. I learned that was not for me because
Yeah.
if it gotta be right. Like I want everything to be authentic. It's not. I don't want to ruin sex for myself where it's just
Like
transactional. I want it to be,
miserable. Yeah,
you
like
know.
miserable. Like you're
And I
like
can't do that. I
dreading
can't.
it.
It will feel like I'm being sexually assaulted if I had sex with someone that I really don't want to have sex with. Like
Yeah.
that's not even me being more confident now, being able to cancel hookups when I'm just like the vibe is not doing it. Like this is
Yeah.
not right. This gotta stop.
Love, love, love,
And
love.
there's
I've
nothing
talked
wrong
about
with
this
that.
before on the show too. I've talked about this before too. Honestly, like if somebody shows up and the vibe isn't the vibe, like you got to kick rocks. Like it's
You don't
not
force
like
me to
we're
do
not
something I don't
wasting
want to
time
do.
here. Yeah. Yeah. Hit it. Hit
Oh,
the
for
fucking door.
real.
Yeah.
Because that's
Cuz
how
like
I've been
why
in bad situations
yeah,
before.
like what is the point of faking pleasure? Do you know? Like I'm not here to just like fulfill your fantasies. Like I want to feel
Literally.
like I'm trying to feel it myself too and it's like I'm not going to fucking fake it just to be fulfilling your little fantasy that you
Literally.
have going on. If you're like getting your whole life to it. But like I'm
I don't
not,
want
you
to waste
know.
my time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd
Life
rather
is
be
too short.
alone.
Period. Yeah, like life is just too short.
It is.
Okay, so I feel like this feels like a good time to jump into our second break. Do you want to introduce the song that we're going to be playing for the second break? You said this is
Yeah.
somebody that's a part of your house.
Yes. So this song is by my one of my best friends in the house, Jonathan. He is so talented in all ways. He has a show at Hydrate Chicago, called Throb that is sickening. It is very male striptease, and just beautiful. The way it's executed is so it's something you have to see in person. Like even the videos that he has online. to see the magic of it. It's just crazy seeing boys do shit that a lot of the drag queens do, but even better. Like, if I'm gonna be honest. And I think it has caused a lot of upset in the drag community about the boys getting opportunities in their spaces because it's taken away from them. But the boys gotta be seen. Like,
Yes.
let should be equal. But yes, Jonathan is the creator of the song. He is so talented. So
Okay, this is Doomsday by Jonathan.
S on his chest misleading. Breathe on my neck, cold chillin'. Making my heartache, icebox freezing. He's supposed to have the good hearing. Fuck, I look like repeating myself. I put a hex on him, try healing. Caught with ass nigga, don't want no dealings. He playing double lives. He was for the streets worldwide, telling those hopeless lies. I was hypnotized. He got the whip that high, and those blood red eyes. That shit not gon' fly. Got that kryptonite. He wasn't steady. For him, I was only steady. He was crossing them lines. I was wiping away chalk lines. Engraved in my mind, the love that he gave a crime. Hands to your hips, chin up, walking away with pride. Nah, who's mad? You mad? Playing captain, save a hoe. Turn your back on me, make sure you leave the shoes, them clothes. Thought it was only one. What you think? I'm stupid, bro. Can't trust your ass. As far as I can throw you. Like, whoa, whoa. Look in the mirror, I know. This motherfucker.
I feel that line. Can't trust your ass as far as I can throw you. That's
Period.
real. Sometimes, like, you really just cannot be trusting these people out here.
And
But
he
like,
little too, so he can't throw nobody.
Trust is like such a big thing. I feel like the older you get to, the more you can like clock people's shit quicker, you know?
Yeah.
But back to the point, that was Doomsday by Jonathan. Make sure that you go check that out on all streaming platforms, whichever one you listen to. All right. So this is a segment that I like to call X Marks the Spot. For those of you who are listening in, if you want to call and leave a voicemail for a future guest, if you want to tell us a story, if you need to ask us advice, the number for that is 415-448-6630. So get us over your questions or ask us for advice. Tell us a story, and maybe you'll be featured on a future episode. So we have some. Are you ready for these? People were asking.
Oh, okay. We'd love to see it. What's gonna happen?
Somebody asks, do you like the smell and taste of a man's hot cum?
You know, okay, let me be honest here. I'm not really the biggest on sucking dick and like bottoming side of shit. I'm trying to get more into it. But I know when I used to suck dick when I was younger, I definitely used to take pleasure in good nut. Not everyone has good nut.
Ooh.
Yeah. It don't
So
all taste the same.
you're not fucking around with nut period anymore?
I'm opening up to it. Like, I just need to get more. When I was younger, everything is tied to sexual trauma. So when I was younger, I used to suck dick because I felt like I had to. But now I'm just like, okay, now I see a big dick that is pretty to me, then I'll be more open to doing that. I'm not gonna suck anyone's dick.
What
Like,
if it wasn't big?
You know, I don't care about. I do care because I've sucked a small dick before, and I'm not trying to be discriminating against nobody, but I like a medium to bigger size dick. Even though I probably can't throw all of it, I can do a good job of what I got to do. But
what are hold on. What are the parameters for a medium to big?
I think like seven to like. I think 7 to 9 is realistic.
14.
Wait, I didn't say 14. I said 7 to 9. That's crazy. This throw was not built like that.
Use a.
That's wild. I would look at that like, I don't know what is gonna happen with that.
Have you ever seen somebody pull out a monster like that before?
Absolutely.
Wild.
It'd be these bottoms be having the biggest dicks.
Right. No, it's like, it is kind of crazy. It'd be the twinks always too, because like all of their nutrients when they were developing went straight to their dick and missed everything else. It didn't flesh out anywhere else. Yeah.
The vitamins.
Yeah. It's wild. It'd always be the twinks that be packing, fucking pulling out some big ass logs.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with that.
Do I like the smell and taste of a man's hot cum? It's a crazy
And
question.
I do not like this.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
like
the smell of my cum.
an insane question. Do I like the smell and taste of a man's hot cum? So usually I'll eat my own cum. Just as a fun fact.
You said it too.
Just as a fun fact, but I feel like I'm like also particular about other people's. Like I have to really like somebody to like want to like swallow their load.
I will say, if I'm sucking dick, I'm swallowing.
Yeah,
I think that's the only right
it's
way
not
to
for
do
me
it.
if it's like somebody random. Like I don't know what they have going on. Like for me, it's like an act of
That's
love.
true.
I'm
That's
like I
true.
want to ingest like your energy. Do you know what I mean? Like some fucking energy harvesting shit. Like I'm like I want you to be
Yes.
like as a part of like, my
Ah.
aura, but like I don't want everybody to be like a part because I have like a good aura going on. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like I don't want
Okay.
some random person to be fucking up like the vibes. You know? So
But you don't feel like you're having sex with someone that you can transfer that energy? Because I do feel that as well.
yeah, but I only so if I'm like hooking up, like I won't bottom if I'm hooking up. Like if it's like somebody random,
Oh,
like
okay,
I won't let
definitely.
somebody else come into my body in that way. But I feel like
Yeah.
I could throw dick all day long to like strangers and not feel like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's how I feel about bottoming too. Bottoming is so sacred to me. I
Yeah,
actually think it's such a sacred act.
yeah. Like
Like, you gotta be
not
fun as hell and also have to love your body.
yeah. It high key like be tripping me out. And this isn't to like shame anybody's practices, but like sometimes it does trip me out when people like will be just taking random dick like back to back to back, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
ooh, but
Well,
that's
do you
their
feel like you're on
journey.
the top side?
You
Do you
said
feel like you're
what?
on the top side of things, or do you feel like you're on the top side of like things? Like, do you prefer the top or
I feel very versatile. Like I feel like right
okay?
down the middle, but I feel like I usually end up topping just because
Yeah.
I'm a big nigga. So like I'm
Mhm.
like 6'3" and like 200 and like probably 15
Ooh,
pounds.
I would just be a tiny tyke
And
next to
so
you.
like usually it's like, you know, all these bottoms are like, ooh, daddy,
Yeah,
you know, like
you're like
destroy my hole.
looking up at
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. So it's like I feel like usually people like want me to top them, but like it just
You
depends.
give
Like
that, you give that daddy vibe, so I can see that for you.
okay. How old are
Yeah.
you? We're talking about some daddy vibe. You like
45.
21, 22?
No, I'm 30.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
be
We're like
cool
the
here.
same age.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm glad I
yeah.
give good mature energy
Hmm.
here for that. All right.
But I will say, like, when it comes to bottoms, I don't shame bottoms because I know if I was more of a bottom and I still wanted to have sex, I would have no choice. I just think it's very traumatic for them because the
Oh,
bottoms that come my way, they be telling me all the horror stories that come with being a bottom, like no one taking care for them, just really caring about their pleasure. So yeah, I still don't get it either. It's kind of sick to really
yeah.
think about, like, damn, you love to be abused by these people,
Right. And just
but
like
I
you
don't know.
used, tossed around, thrown, like just like any just
Yeah,
like fucking dogged. Yeah, no, it is kind of wild. I do something that I really like about like the kink community specifically. I don't know if you've ever been to like a BDSM
I'm brand
party.
new in that.
Like they're
I
like
was at a kinky time last night.
yeah, aftercare is like such a big thing.
Yeah,
But like for
yeah.
hookups, like that's not always the case, you know?
It never gets that intense to even warrant it. But also, I will say, I think hookups need aftercare. It's just people they don't practice it.
No.
Because I definitely practice aftercare,
Yeah.
or I try to.
Yeah. What does that
But you have
look
to be
like for
comfortable.
you?
It's okay to like fuck and not immediately say, okay, it was nice, because
Bye.
then that becomes strange enough.
You just
No.
like hurry up and put your shoes and clothes on.
Even though
Gotta
I will
go.
say some people do gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
if it was like it was given what it was given that. I think there's nothing wrong with the little freaky session and then getting about your business.
Uh
But if you're really vibing with someone, and especially when I'm topping, because I prefer head, but when I top, I'm really about to lay into you.
uh
So yeah, just cuddling, getting close to each other, and just really talking a little bit before immediately ejecting you out of my place. Like,
yeah. Okay, you're out
yeah,
here. The savior of the bottoms.
I try. Everyone can't be saved.
You are the oasis in the desert.
Well, I mean,
Huh.
I mean,
All right, somebody asks, have you ever done a scene with somebody you really didn't fuck with or where the vibes were off?
a scene as in sex or a scene
I
as
think
in
they
anything.
mean I think they mean like a scene like filming. That's how I read it. But I guess you know you can answer it however you want.
Once again, I will say a lot of these content creators, especially the bigger names, are, I'm not gonna come for everyone, but like there are some of them that are really shitty. I've met very nice content creators as well that have also been on the same vibe as me, but people just don't be having care for other people. They just see you as a transaction. They see you
Yeah.
as the money that they're getting from having sex with you. And that, like, now that because when I started OnlyFans, it was also like 2022, 2021, and I would just be collabing with anyone that I was like, okay, well, I'm out here doing OnlyFans, let me take it serious, but not monitoring the people that I was with. So some people, it was just so transactional, I would feel empty after having sex with them. So it's been very common, like especially early collabing. Now it hasn't been that case because I'm more selective. But yeah, some of these content creators just be like shitty. They don't care about you. They care about
Yeah.
your dick or whatever you have to offer them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I very briefly, if this person is asking about like scenes like filming, I briefly had an OnlyFans, but I wasn't shooting content how people do. Like mine all was with like an ex. Like mine wasn't like I wasn't like like meeting people for collabs type shit. So I've never had a scene with somebody that I mean I really don't fuck with that person now. So I guess I had plenty of scenes with somebody who I didn't fuck with, but in the moment. Different story.
Whoa.
All right. Somebody asks, hello, or they say, hello. I've been struggling a lot with body image. As a gay man, sometimes it feels like there's an unreasonable amount of pressure placed on looking perfect, and it kind of has me down in the dumps.
That's it?
That was.
Okay. I thought it was going to go somewhere else. I was like, damn.
You said, yeah.
I feel that. No. I will say, especially if this person is black, I never used to feel this from other people until I put myself to be in communities where I see all types of people, specifically white people. I'll be around queer white people, and they, not all of them, some of the white people I would like fuck with heavy because they are so genuine and nice. But a lot of the white community, especially as a black queer person, are so nasty, unwarranted to you. Like you
Yeah.
just existing is offensive to them. And I have had body image problems my entire life because I was trying to live up to some stigma or standard. But at the end of the day, especially now that I'm in my weight loss journey, not even weight loss, just like health journey, because
Yeah.
I don't care about losing the weight. I care about just being mentally okay, and working out helps me with that. You have to work on the mental first, and then you can work on the body, because your mental state is really what is at play when it comes to, oh, these people are putting pressure on me. That could be imaginary. Like, yes, you might feel that pressure from other people, but it could be just you making up shit in your head. You have to love what you see in the mirror, and you have to be delusional at first. Lie to yourself if you have to do that, and that helps you. But you are beautiful the way you are. Rest in that and be like, okay, it's okay to be that way. Therapy helps, but just being more kind to yourself, because that's
Yeah.
really all it is. Be kind to yourself. You're gonna look crazy some days. You're not gonna look crazy every day, and that's okay. It's okay to look crazy, but also just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're any less of a person. Also, finding communities that are more dedicated to whatever you're going through will help you. Like the bear community. I'm not saying someone's thicker is instantly a bear, but you have communities that are more accepting to you that will help you build your confidence to, you don't even have to work out. You could still be whoever you are. You just have to be more accepting of where you are at. I don't know. But
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I could add on to that. That was very beautifully said. The only thing that I could think is also maybe spend less time online, because like
yeah.
I feel like
This could-
online is like it really be fucking with people's head, you know, like body image and all that kind of shit. Because if you're constantly
can't
seeing,
compare
and
them.
like especially if you're looking at like a bunch of like gay shit or like men online, like everybody's gonna look like perfect. I'm doing finger quotes for people who are listening, like have these like perfect bodies, but then it's like sometimes you be seeing these people in real life and they don't even look like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Crazy.
like
Crazy.
yeah, like don't get caught up in comparing yourself to other people online, and like you really have to just take time to figure out and like learn how to, in whichever way that you can, like learn how to like love yourself, even if that's like starting small and being like, I like how my eyebrows look or something, you know what I mean? Like maybe just find like 1 or 2 things to start with,
Yeah,
and then
find your
branch off
favorite
from
thing
there.
on you.
Yeah, and then just continue to
Find
like,
and that's it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, you're good. Just like give yourself compliments and like find ways to like give yourself love.
Yeah, literally, like that's even with dressing and like how I present myself with my fashion and stuff. I find my favorite parts of my body and showcase that, because that immediately raises your confidence. You're showing like your clothes are blocking whatever. If you have insecurities, it can block insecurities for you. So like if you tailor whatever you're wearing towards what you like about yourself, then you're only seeing the things that you love, and you can really focus on those things.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
but yeah. And then also remember that a lot of shit online be fake. People be editing the fuck out of their photos.
yes.
Just because it looks nice online doesn't mean that's what they're really giving. And sometimes these people are editing away their insecurities. So everyone is insecure, no matter how perfect you think they look. We all have our like shit that we're going through.
100%, 100%. Well, we send you love and hope that in your journey you find a little bit more love for yourself as well and your body image. All right, somebody says, so I caught my roommate spying while I was getting my back blown out the other day. Not sure not sure if I'm finding it hot or creepy. We haven't
That sounds hot.
Hold on. We haven't really crossed paths since it happened, and not sure if I even want to bring it up. What do you think?
I will say, like, sometimes shit be happening. Can you really say spying? I don't know the full context of it, because maybe he just like didn't know what was going on. But also, I think in my head,
is he like beating his shit? Why?
Yeah. He said, "Oh no, he's crying out for help."
The door was cracked, and they just were like fucking beating their shit like crazy.
And maybe he wanted some tech or some tips. He was like, "Oh damn, this sounds good. Maybe I need to." It depends on who my roommate was, though. Like, if I didn't have that rapport with him, I would be like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. But an idea, like hearing it kind of sexy.
Yeah. Like, right. Like, what if it's like somebody, like, what if it was like a roommate who, like, you didn't have that kind of energy with? Like, it was like, I feel like, it just depends on like the context. But like, they even said, like, they're not sure if they're finding it hot or creepy. So I guess they don't really know either.
I mean, also I have to think of it outside of me. Like, I know if it was me years ago where I felt insecure and like people like really seeing me like that, I would be like, ugh, like, I would be overthinking it too much. But I think now that I'm so free with it, I'll be like, well, I mean, what's the big deal? Like, online I post and shit, so
it is kind of like, like we need more information, because like what if like they had their door closed and then like they like looked over and the person was like had the door open like looking or something, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like crossing like that's like crossing like barriers, you know, like privacy type shit too, like that like moves into like the realm of not being consensual.
I feel like maybe the roommate feels embarrassed because it sounds like an accident. Because if they've also been avoiding you, then maybe they're embarrassed that they even got to see that. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I have much more to add to that. It's like we need some more information here.
Yeah.
And like also like you got to figure out yourself if you think it's hot or creepy. Shit, maybe invite them in next time.
I mean, if he thinks it's hot, that kind of gives me the allure that maybe I don't know. He probably liked it. So
right, like maybe you need to have like the person who is topping you pull out and be like, come here, like, and then just let him just like wreck your shit too. They said they were getting their back blown out. Their exact words were getting my back blown out.
They said I was doing the deed. I was doing it like ever before. Yeah. So,
all right, somebody, this might be one for me. I don't know if you wear thongs. Somebody says, will you sell me your used thongs? No.
People have asked that actually, so yes.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, well, send him a message, but don't send me one.
No. Why not?
How much would you sell them for?
Well, there will be a price tag. Like, I think.
Okay, well, give us a number. It pays to advertise.
I don't know how much it costs to ship and shit, so that will be factored in. I think $150 is realistic for me.
For one thong.
Because also now I gotta buy some new underwear as well. So like
$150 for one?
underwear. Yeah, for one.
But you're
Yeah,
not
I'm
playing
not.
around.
I mean, because it's not something I want to do.
Right. Well, I guess everybody.
You want it
I
for me.
mean, I have a price too. If we're thinking about it like that, like of course, like if we're talking about some real money, but like also it's like I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to make that like a side hustle. Like I don't really have interest in that.
yeah.
And also when they say used, like what fantasy is that giving? Like you don't want me to wash it? Like what are we like? How many days does it have to be worn? Like
People have like asked more so like after I've been working out or something, or like I've nut on the underwear and stuff.
right, but then
Like,
that's even extra work.
and that's why the price tag could be anywhere from where I'm talking about, because it's a lot of effort for it,
Yeah.
and it's something I don't want to do.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. Okay, I feel that. All right, somebody says, "What do you think about friends who fuck each other? A couple of my friend groups are quite incestuous, but it's really not for me."
Gay people are allowed to have sex with other gay people. At the end of the day, when you are gay, you have already an instant bond that's deeper than most straight people get to have with their friends. And some straight friends be having sex with each other, they just don't talk about it. Like, I think that this idea of just because you're friends with a gay person and that you can't have sex with them is stupid, because that's probably the safest person you could have sex with. So, I mean, I get it. People be having their little not boundaries, but like barriers on what is allowed in their friendships and stuff, and that's
Hmm.
fine. But just because you're okay with that doesn't mean everyone else should follow your rule book. Is really
Right,
what it is.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fuck any of my friends like that. Like, and people who I was fucking, like, and when it transitioned to be like just friendship,
Mhm.
that was like it turned into just us being friends and like we stopped fucking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's not really like for me either, but like I really don't care what other people are doing.
Actually, let me restate that, because now, like, it depends on what kind of friends are we, how deep in friendship are we. Because
Right.
if you're one of my brothers or sisters, I mean, obviously, maybe not at that point, because like I don't know. I don't currently do that. It just depends on what type of friendship is given.
Uh-huh.
Like loose friends, like you're around my friend group and stuff. I don't know. I don't. It just depends on what
Right.
you're
Like
speaking about.
acquaintances you're down for, but like maybe people
Yeah,
if you're seeing this person like multiple times a week.
I don't know. It really does depend. It's touch and go, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to have sex with all of my friends.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I don't have boundaries on shit, so I don't know when it
Okay.
comes to that.
All
Yeah.
right. Somebody asks, or they say, "You're so pretty. Would you ever try doing drag?" Drag is like such a broad thing.
Yeah.
I already feel like
Yeah.
I do drag, but like it's not like female
Right.
impersonation drag, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've changed my perspective on what drag is, because even like uh masculinity, everything is such like a performance. But like even the extras, like it depends on what I'm wearing that day. I could be doing drag. Like if I'm going out, I'm probably doing drag.
Right.
To me.
Right.
But I get like they're asking for female shit. So like for female shit, I've done it before. It's not gonna be something for me. I don't want to kill my body. But it's definitely something I would like to try more of. It would be so fun to like see myself as a woman.
Do you have a drag name when you dressed up before, like when you got like fully into the gig
I
like
had
that?
one, but it's not given that. Like I would have to. It would have to be more thought out. It was
Okay.
Erica, and it's not given
What was it
that now.
before?
It was Erica.
Just Erica? That was
That's why I
it.
don't want to use it no more.
Was
It
it
was
like
trash.
ERYKA or was it just like
Yeah,
ERICA?
it was with a K.
Okay, with an I or a Y.
Yeah.
Okay, Erica.
It would never happen again. Like it would give something more thought out. It was just rushed because it was for cage fight, like the
Yeah,
competition. So
yeah.
I just threw it together. But yeah, she was looking
Okay.
cute. She was
Uh,
pretty.
Okay, well, we want to see her return.
No,
Or this person wants
yeah,
to
yeah.
see her return, I guess.
I was like, y'all can't see what Erica looked like, but she was kind of pretty. But yeah,
Okay, well,
I
you're a
did it.
bit
Also did it with a goatee. So I had a goatee. So when I would do it again, it would be full
like,
blown.
okay,
Yeah,
shaved. You would give the
Yeah.
full illusion. Yeah.
Pussy.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But a
Um,
bust man.
I don't have any interest in doing like female impersonation drag. It's just not, it doesn't speak to me like for me to do. Like it speaks to me
You
as
ever
far
done
as
it?
like enjoying people who do that. Like they definitely have my support, but like it doesn't like it's not something that I feel drawn to, at least at this point. You know, life changes and
Have
who
you
knows
done it
what will
though?
happen in the future. You said what?
Have you done it?
Oh,
Oh wow.
um,
That is shocking actually.
yeah, no.
That's
I feel
shocking.
like I feel like what I've done like to this point, like the shit that I've done has like it's like itched that scratch. Like I've never felt like I've wanted to,
Mm.
because like even like
I
I
will say you
love
do drag. You technically do drag. It would
right, but
give
like
like non-binary drag,
yeah, I
honestly.
love like even if I love like a lot, like even if it's like a wig, like I don't want like city girls like wigs, do you know what I mean? But like I love like men who have like longer hair, do you know what I mean? Like I love like a vampire type aesthetic, like Interview with the
You give
Vampire
that.
type shit, do you know? Like
That's why you
that's
like
like the type
vanity
of
damn.
drag I
That's
would
the
want to
thing for
do.
people.
Huh. Huh. All right. Somebody asks, they say, I'm a cis straight woman. I would love to have a MFM threesome, but my husband is constantly begging to bring another girl in, not really feeling the idea. What would you do? What would you do is kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
none of us are like we can't really answer this question, but I get like
Yeah.
what they're like, maybe they want advice about like their situation, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's different because that is their husband.
Right.
Um, but I feel like what like my same way I view relationships. Like if I'm in a relationship that relationship has to serve me. If I want to do something, my relationship shouldn't restrict me from doing that. I think
Right.
that is people holding themselves back from their full potential. Like what? I'm jealous, what I don't want to be or what my partner doesn't want to be with another man. Well then like what am I supposed to do here?
Right.
Cuz I'm not my needs aren't being met. So I'm gonna be unhappy just because you are uncomfortable with that. I don't want to force it on you, obviously, because that's wrong to do. But if I want something, I should be allowed to fulfill that.
Right. Yeah, I feel like
I don't
they
know.
need to come to an agreement. Like
Yeah.
they need to compromise in this situation, because essentially, so people who are listening, if you don't know what MFM means, so she
Hmm.
wants, so it's male, female, male. So she wants herself, her husband, and another man, but the husband wants her the husband and then a female to join. So like they're missing the third person. Like she wants a man and he wants a woman. But like I feel like they need to like scratch each other's back and be like, well, if we bring in a girl and I'm doing this for you, then like you need to do this for me. Like they got to find
I feel like
compromise.
that could be some bullshit though, because I could see someone being like, "Oh, okay, we can do the other female,"
And
and
then
then
not
I'll be like,
following through.
"No,
That's when you
sorry,
get
I'm
a
not comfortable
divorce.
with
Yeah, they
it."
said their husband. That's when you get a divorce.
That sounds
And
like
then
conflict. I'm
and
not.
then after you get a divorce, go have a fucking orgy, get gang banged by like a group of men, and take a video and send it to him and
That's crazy.
be like, this is what I've been wanting my whole life, and your little fucking dick you could never provide this for me.
He's a dom. He likes
Yeah.
to torture men. What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus. We're like neighbor
Stubborn.
signs.
Okay,
Yeah,
got that.
I get my way.
Okay. Ooh,
Once my mind is set on something, we're focused. We're focused in.
we love that.
Do you have anything more to give to this lovely lady who's asking for help in her situation?
I will say with that situation, and it also sounds like couples therapy. Like you need someone to mediate the situation because it's obviously something you both want to do. And if you're comfortable being with another woman for him, then I don't see why should be such a big deal for him to be comfortable with another man. I
Right.
get all of the insecurities and stuff, but at the end of the day, if we're looking at pleasure, that's all it should be about.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these like straight men typically piss me off. Like not even trying to be
Hmm.
funny, but like this kind of shit of like, oh, like we can bring on a woman, but like, oh, like I'm not interested in having another man join. It's like it's like, one, it's giving insecure, like you don't want to see your wife with like
Instantly.
another man.
Instantly.
It's insecure. And then also it's like, oh, like going back to what we were talking about earlier, like the stigma surrounding like queerness, and it's just like, whatever, like fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck it. But like
I
you
will
want
say
your girl
that
to be gay, you know?
going to a lot of these kink events, it actually is very interesting. I feel like a lot of straight men, it's not all straight men, but there's a lot of straight men that actually are very into kink culture and very accepting of other alternative shit happening in their relationship. It's just not talked about.
Yeah.
Because even last night, I went to Ecstasy, which is like a kink friendly event, and just talking with a lot of straight men, like even complimenting straight men and flirting with them. Seeing straight men so confident in their damn sexuality, it's not only sexy, but it's also so comforting because I'm like, damn, see, some of these straight men ain't all shit. They understand the nuances to relationship.
Totally.
But
Totally. Yeah. And I'm casting a wide net. I'm like making a very general statement. You know what I mean? I guess to clarify, like it is the people who are more closed-minded, like the straight men who are more closed-minded. When it's just like, you know, like if sucking dick isn't your thing, fine. But also like if your wife wants to be fulfilled in this certain way, like you shouldn't let like your own whatever like stigma surrounding queerness like get in the way of that either. Like you guys,
and
you don't have to be
you don't have to do anything with the man.
right. Like
You can
but
literally just be a part of it.
right, like she just wants to get fucking tossed. Like let her get fucking ran through, you know.
But some men, they don't want to see their wife be a rag doll.
All right, the last question. Somebody says, have you ever done something that you regret later? Isn't that being human?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a human. I mean, yeah. I will say that was a running cycle in my life. I used to get stuck in cycles of doing the same behavior over and over and wondering why I wasn't getting anything new coming from it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a life lesson to learn how to break that shit, testing yourself and like seeing where you're fucking up on for yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
I will say also though, I think part of how I view like my life's journey too is that I try not to think about things like looking back on my life and be like, oh, I regret this thing, because like ultimately like that thing, whatever it is, even if like I maybe learned from the experience or something, like that helped to make me who I am today. So like I'm not looking back and being like regretting shit. Do you know? So
that's very important.
Yeah.
Self-grace. Like,
yeah. Like we have to. We have to. So okay, well these were cute.
Yes.
This was another thrilling segment of X Marks the Spot. Again, for people who are listening in, if you do want to write in to the show, the number for that is 415-448-6630. Thank you for being with us today. This was so cute.
No,
you have like a very you have a very sweet energy to you.
Oh, I mean, that's how I try to live. That's how I want people to treat me. So that's what I do for other people.
Yeah. No, this was lovely.
A lot of people say I give innocent energy. So
and you're like, little do you know.
Yeah, I'm still a Gemini. So
you're like, that's just one half of it.
Literally, you see everything.
Okay, well, do you have
piss me off and then you'll see.
Right. You'll see the flip side. Do you have anything that you want to plug? Do you have like constant shows? Like, where can people see you perform? Like all of that.
So very soon I will be doing Cage Fight All Stars, which is like now it's been 7 seasons. So I was on season 3. So now I'm going to be doing that. I'm preparing for that. It's kind of like basically a pageant, honestly. But I'm preparing for that, so I'm excited for that. My OnlyFans, you can support that. Ricoslair, actually, it's Rico After Dark. I think it's my OnlyFans. Follow my ex, Ricoslair, on all platforms: Instagram, Blue Sky now, all that shit. And then just the House of Cage stuff. We have stuff coming in the works for when our home bar opens back up. We have a House of Cage show that we do there. And then also just Cage Fight and shit. So yeah, I think I plugged everything. Yeah.
Okay, And where, I know you dropped a couple of social handles, is everything, like people can find you at either Rico's Lair or they can find you at Rico After Dark on all like social media platforms. It's those two.
Rico After Dark is only my OnlyFans. Rico's Lair is everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come over to X Talk and chopping it up with us a little bit. This was a very cute conversation, and I can't wait to see you expand your online brand and see what's coming up next for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. I'm also excited for you. I was just listening to your song "Cunt" earlier. I said, "Oh, this is a good little workout song." I said, "Maybe I'll perform today."
Did you hear the remix yet?
I did not hear the remix. No,
the remix is out. It came out the beginning of this year. I was like, when I was putting together this project, the remix project, I was like, I feel like I have to throw in like a cunt remix, because I was like, even though it's like an old ass song now, like I was like, I just have to, because like that's like my most popular song, and so I'm like, I have to like throw in a remix, even though it's been a few years.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So okay, well, with that, we're gonna hit this little intro music or the outro music, and that's gonna be that.
X talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot. X talk, body rock, give us everything you got. X talk, never stop, tune right in, you know the spot.
All 14 inches. Right. Love.